Hello everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing how to make goat milk soap. I have a client where my sister-in-law is. She has requested lavender. I try not to use fragrance oils, so it's doTERRA lavender. Me personally, I can't use lavender. It keeps me up, it keeps me wide awake. But before we get started, I do want to go over a few things. So when you are working with goat milk soap or anything, you're gonna need safety glasses. And then I have just kitchen gloves when you're working with lye. So I get food grade lye off of Amazon, and I can link to it below. But this is just some things that I use in my goat milk lotion. So organic coconut oil, organic and sustainable palm oil. I personally use jovial olive oil for mine or my cooking, but for everybody else I just use organic olive oil. And then we have food grade lye, and then I have goat milk, and I freeze mine in cubes. I pre-measure them. I fill them in cubes, I pre-measure, I put in my baggie, and then I freeze it. So each time that I'm ready to make goat milk soap, I just pull my baggie out and voila. So I think that's it. There's different molds you can use. So there's bars. There's round. And then there's what they call a loaf. So those are the options that you can choose from, and I'm sure there's plenty more molds. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to get started. While I was talking, I went ahead and got my oils starting to melt, because you want to combine all the oils together and have them melting, because as quick as they're melted, then you're ready. So here, let's see if I can zoom you in some. Here we are just going to sprinkle the lye on our goat milk and get it melting. I'll put the recipe that I use down below. This is just what I use. This is what I love because I have very dry skin and it really nourishes my skin. After you make it, and I put it in the refrigerator for 12 to 24 hours. So let's see if you're in frame. So I'm going to put my lye on my goat milk and let it start melting and doing its thing. A lot of people wear a mask. I don't, because I can't smell this one. So while that's doing its thing for a minute, I'm going to stir my oils some more. And get them melting, because they take the longest. You want to have everything dedicated for soap. You don't want to use these at all in your cooking ever when you are finished with them. So anyway, what I was saying was, once I'm done with this and once I put them in the mold, I put them in the refrigerator for 12 to 24 hours. Then I take them out and I have a, I don't know if you would say a clothes drying rack or a herb drying rack that has mesh in between it. So it will cure for about 2 to 3 weeks and then it's ready to go. So right now with my goats in, my one goat in milk, my sister-in-law has a massage studio and she's having clients that are asking for goat milk soap because I put samples out. So I'm trying to catch up on soap. Also, a word to the wise is these big cubes, I will not do this anymore. I'll always do the smaller cubes because these big cubes take quite a while to melt, it seems like. So my oils are done, so I'm going to set those off for a second until this goat milk melts a little bit more. I'm really not the person, see, you should have your safety glasses on because you don't want light in your eyes. I've already burnt my lip, I've burnt my arm, but when I do blend it with my immersion blender, I do wear my glasses because I don't want it splatting up in my eye. But at this stage in the juncture, I don't wear it. But I do wear my gloves because it doesn't feel good when it pops you on the arm and it burns. But I have found out that if you do get burnt, pour some vinegar on it and it will stop it from burning. So I'm going to let this sit here for just a few minutes. While that's sitting, I am going to pour my oils in my bowl. Sorry, my hand is in the way, I know. So, those are my oils that are good and melted. And then let's come back over here and finish this up. So I just keep moving this around, mashing the smaller pieces. If your bowl gets too hot, I did have a stainless steel bowl and you have to double bowl it, and you have to put ice under the other one so that your bowl will stay cool because the lye will heat up the goat milk. But with a glass bowl, I have found that my bowl doesn't get hot, and my goat milk just keeps it cool, and so it just keeps melting it down as we're going. And like I say, I won't do these big, once I work through all these bags that I have frozen already, I won't do the big cubes again. It'll just be small cubes because it seems like they melt a whole lot faster than the big cubes. And you don't want to let your goat milk unthaw when you're doing this. You want it to be frozen. So that's, yeah, that's the story of it. So for this order, I am doing lavender, like I say, and it called for 1 ounce of oil. I am trying not to use fragrance oils, but someone asked me to make, a peach. That's what it was. So I had to order a fragrance oil. I personally can't do fragrances. My skin is way too sensitive, so I prefer unscented for myself. And I really wished I would have took before and after pictures of my dry skin. Goat milk has a lot of benefits for your skin. So do your research, but this is just how I make soap. Because I'm sure there's other recipes out there. This is just what I use personally, and there's a thing called soap calculator that you can put fats and oils in and it'll tell you how much. This is just what personally I do. So we're gonna leave this sitting here for just a second because it's still not melted yet. But I am gonna show you while it's melting, and then we'll come back. So while that's melting, I'm gonna take you upstairs. Let's see if I can get you upstairs to look. It's dark right here, I'm sorry. But, so I have a fan blowing on my soap. And again, I'm really not sure what these are called. I think it's just a drying rack, but it's mesh. So once my soaps have chilled in the refrigerator for 12 to 24 hours, this was a loaf, and these will be cut into samples for my sister-in-law. These are unscented, the top rack. So this is an oval, and these are my bars. They're not done curing yet, and so the top rack is unscented. The second rack is orange, and same thing. I didn't do circles with those, I just done bars, and I make sure to fill my molds really well. So that's that. And once they've cured for 2 to 3 weeks, I will shrink wrap them and put them on the shelf at her massage studio. So that's what I do there. Now let's see if we can get back to the goat milk. Let me put my gloves back on. Here I do label them with our farm name and the ingredients in it, because I want everybody to know what is actually in it, that it's not just ordered pre-done and I just stick my label on it. Everything here is homemade from my goat, from my milk, so it's all made homemade. So I can't just pump thousands of bars out at one time because you only have so many molds and it does have to cure. So I'm not one that just orders or these melt and pour soaps. So all of mine is definitely homemade. Alright, so it's almost all melted, my goat milk. And one thing you have to do is you have to pour the lye into the oil. Do not pour the oils into the lye. It's always lye to oil, lye to oil. And again, these bowls are designated for soap making only. And then I have my bowls that I designate for my lotion only. And that video is coming out soon as well. So, okay, so everything is melted. I'm gonna put my potato masher there. Okay, so now I am going to put my glasses on. And I am going to bring you over here to the oil. So remember, lye to oil. And then I go ahead and set these in the sink. So from this point, we are going to take our immersion blender and blend it just a tad. Just pulsing. Okay, so that's done. That is what they call trace. And so at this point, I will add my essential oils. And mix it again. Okay, so that's finished. I'm going to take this off and set it in the sink as well. I should have went ahead and had my sink filled with water, but I didn't. Okay, so that's that. And this is how I do my molds, because it just sets better in the refrigerator. And that Cool Whip bowl is not Cool Whip, by the way. It is eggshells for my chickens that we just smashed down in there. So let's move this out of the way. Let's get this over here close. And I just start filling. I really will be on the lookout for a stainless steel ladle, because my spoon just, yeah, I mean, it does the job for right now, but I would really like a ladle. So I just fill them up. And I'm finding that I really like molds better than the loaf, but I do have to make a little bit of a mold. I try to make a mold for each scent that I'm doing so that I can give samples out, and that way people can smell them, because once I put them in the shrink wrap bag, you really can't smell them very well. But I do that because if I ship or sell at farmers markets, that way people's hands are not all over them, and it cuts down on any flying dirt or debris. So that's why I do that, and plus I can put my farm label on the shrink wrap. Alright, so there's one. Let's move right out of the way. And if there was a better way, I really wished I could find some just use, maybe that's what I need to do at yard sales. The things that hold cookies, a cooling rack, that's what I'm trying to think of. If I can find any cooling racks that I could just use, because I don't want to use my good ones, because you see me spilling some of it. And that way, that can just be designated for my soap in general. So I overfilled that one. As you're working with it, you can feel it thickening up. So I try to kind of hurry, but I don't like spilling a lot of it. But I don't know of another way, because I just can't pick the bowl up, and I can if I have a helper, but I don't have a helper. My husband took the cat outside while I shot the video, because he'll be meowing because he'll want to go outside. So he's outside with the cat and I'm in here trying to get the video done. Okay, so that's number 2. Let's get that one out of the way. And since that client is only wanting a certain amount, I think the rest of this will just, whoop, I'm sorry, I messed y'all up. I'm sorry, so sorry. I think what I'm gonna do is just put the rest of this in a mold, and that way it can be for samples, because she was really only wanting 5 bars. So I'm just gonna dump the rest of this in the mold, and then I can cut these for samples, and then that will be that. That's easy peasy. And then I'll wash my hands with my gloves on. And they will go in the refrigerator, and 24 to 48 hours they will be pulled out. Let's see if I can back you up just a little bit here. There we go. And that way I'm not in your face. So after 24 to 48 hours they will be taken out. This is some I've already made. This was just for our personal use, so I just wrapped it in cellophane. But I would love to show you. This was my very first batch I ever made, and we're running low, so this is just unscented. Like I say, that's just the way I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, so while I've done all that, I thought I lost footage, but I didn't. Sorry, I'm going in my bathroom. Wrong button. So anyway, let's try this again. I'm gonna zoom you in. Here's my sink. This is already cured. Again, I like unscented. And this is a bar I had made for ourselves. So it doesn't take a lot. And I love how it lathers. Lathers well. But right now, after making the soap, my hands are very moist anyway from all of the oils. Let's zoom me back out. Because you don't want me in your face, So there you go. That's how I make goat milk soap. Let me know if you give it a try. I will leave you the recipe down below of what I use and what works for me. And I will see you guys on the next video. Have a great day.